Nigerians are hosting the African Export-Import Bank. Of course, earlier today, I spoke with Denya. It's an interview around what the African Export-Import Bank is doing to diversify its funding sources across the continent. He also told me that Afrexim Bank is ready to do a local bond in Naira of about $1 billion before the end of the year if the market conditions is okay. And let's listen to Denya, who is the Senior Vice President of Afrexim Bank for that.
The central theme of these annual meetings is that we can succeed if we put our minds to it. The bank was formed amidst turbulence and debt issues in the early 1990s, and we have succeeded. So resilience is important. That's the central message, is that we must work together as Africans to bring solutions to Africans' problems.
How urgent is the message of unity? Together, working together, the various DFIs, the various governments, under the various pillars of the African Union and other agencies to ensure that an institution such as an Afrexim Bank becomes a leading institution when it comes to trade finance and other such facility supporting Africa, 54 countries.
It is absolutely urgent. If you look at the total balance sheet of African development financial institutions, if you look at the infrastructure gap on the continent, it's over 100 billion a year. You look at the trade finance gap, it's over 100 billion US dollars a year. So as individual institutions, we cannot resolve the problem. So we must come together as all the DFIs on the continent work in common purpose to tackle the challenges that face the continent. Whether you're talking about infrastructure, trade finance, we need to work together in order to actually overcome these challenges. So unity is important. That's why at Afrexim Bank, we are looking at global Africa, not only the geography of Africa. Where Africans reside, we need to work together for the development of our people.
What are the new measures that the Afrexim Bank is looking to onboard as we see global trade, increased geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, in Europe, and elsewhere? The whole saber rattling in Asia, for example, between China and Taiwan, and the pressure that is coming on trade, global trade speaking. Are there new things that the Afrexim Bank is working on, looking at very quickly?
There are a number of things that we are working on in order to de-risk trade and remove the friction that inhibits trade between African countries. If you look at the regulatory environment, the customs regimes, we are using our advocacy to try and bring same standards across the continent. But if you look at financing, traditionally, we have financed our operations from the Euro markets. We have started to diversify so that we can bring in resources to the continent. We now raise money in Japan, we raise money in China. But more importantly, we are facilitating raising money on the continent. We started the Central Bank Deposit Program in 2014. And that year, we only raised about 70 million US dollars. As I speak to you, we have raised 42 billion US dollars from African resources. But we are going further. We are going to raise resources in African currencies. Using the Pan-African Payments and Settlement System, we are going to settle trade in local currencies, with Afrexim Bank clearing the difference.
How soon will that come in to support the urgency of industrialization, manufacturing on the continent? And again, you have other partners such as the Arise IPP and institutions that want to create special economic zones across Africa.
It has already started. We issued our first Panda bond in March this year. So we've already tapped the Chinese market.
Okay.
In terms of industrialization, we have built special economic zones in Gabon, Benin. We are now talking about industrial zones here in Nigeria where we are. We are also rolling out in Malawi, DRC, and Zambia, Chad. So we are already on that journey to establish the industrial capacity on the continent. And to complement the debt that we provide, we have set up a fund for export development, which provides patient capital in terms of equity. And we also provided the project facilities to help those Africans who have great ideas but don't have money to bring projects to viability. So we have a fund that we've established, but we've gone beyond the resources that Africans can provide by working together with other institutions to bridge this gap. So it's something that we are already doing.
Are there some currencies in Africa in which you think you can respond? For example, local currencies, the Panda Bank, yes, for Japanese, maybe the Rand, for example, maybe in the CFA franc for French-speaking Africa. What are your thoughts on that? Maybe Nigerian Naira.
We have already raised rands to finance South African entities. We have a program here in Nigeria to raise Naira. So we have a capital markets program. So we will soon be issuing a bond to raise Naira long term using our credit ratings. I was in Cote d'Ivoire a couple of weeks ago. We are working on a program to raise CFA in West Africa and Central Africa. Because it is important sometimes to use the local currency because the revenues that come from those projects will be local currency. So we use our capacity as an investment grade rated institution to raise medium and long-term debt in local currency and apply those in local currency.
Give me an idea, Dr. Denya, how much are you looking to raise in Nigerian Naira bond?
No, in Naira, I mean, you can imagine the demand here in Nigeria is huge. So we are doing a program equivalent to $1 billion US. That's the program.
In Nigerian currency.
In Nigerian currency. How soon issue in tranches here.
But how soon is the first? How soon are you floating that? How soon is it coming out? This year?
If the conditions permit, we will do it by the end of this year. It's the market conditions permit, we will do that this year.
Okay, that will be good. We'll love to see more. We'll love to see more of that. Thank you so much for putting that on the ground and talk. Thank you for speaking with us here on the Rice News.